It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Counterculture, and it's their lovely Bubbly Brut Rose, coming in at 6% ABV in a 500ml can. I think it's 500ml. It's a large can. We will get in. Yeah, 500ml can. Counterculture. I think they're Stone and Wood. Yeah, Stone and Wood. Thank you very much to Mick, the awesome Mick, who was kind enough to send us the beer. Without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer. Looking for my glass then. Beer in the glass. This looks good. We got a 1 finger whitehead, good levels of carbonation, good clarity on the beer, nice clarity going on. Small levels of, well, it's quite a lot of carbonation to be honest, but you expect that from this style of beer. What I'm looking for is sediment. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of sediment floating around it. I'm not sure if you guys can pick it up from there. Clear, straw coloured. Let's get the aroma. Brut Rose, you definitely get a hint of something kind of funky in there. Let's dive in. Cheers. Oh. They call it a Brut Rose. I'm going to say they've added some salt. You definitely get the kind of mouthfeel of something salty in there, like they've added some salt to the beer. So, more of a kind of a Goes style beer, I would say. Carbonation hisses and fizzes and pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. It's very refreshing. Talking about salt in a beer, if you're new to beer, you might be thinking, whoa, don't put no salt in my beer, but it's a style of beer, it's a German style of beer that's been around for a very long time. And if you put the right amount of salt in the beer, it can add an awful lot of flavour. An awful lot of flavour. It's a bit like when you add a little bit of salt to your potatoes, you know, it's just boiling them. It just gives something a little bit extra. But quite, I'm not going to say rose petals because I've never eaten a rose petal in my life, but I suppose there's an aroma of like a floral aroma going on in the beer. But it's lovely. It's lovely. There's, I would say, maybe some pink raspberry. Like a pink, light, fluffy kind of raspberry that's just ready to be picked off the bush. That type of kind of light, refreshing flavour going on. I moved on to the flavour when I realised I didn't give too much in terms of the aroma, but there's not really too much to say. Yeah, there's a little bit of raspberry in the aroma. You can tell there's a certain kind of zinginess and zest to it. A funkiness. But it's nice. It's very nice. Thank you, Mick. And for a 6% ABV beer, really easy drinking. Counterculture, lovely bubbly. Let's see what they have to say about this beer. More bubbles, darling. Can you feel it? That certain something in the air that calls for bubbles and celebration. Well, the silly season is upon us, and nothing says good times quite like a rosé brut sour. This delightful blush co-ferment beer with Chardonnay juice, champagne yeast, lactobacillus, and thousands of fresh strawberries balance sweetness and a soft sour pinch with a dry, crisp finish. Simply exquisite, lovely bubbly is the 5th release from Counterculture beers that go against the grain. They've not mentioned the salt. I'm pretty sure. I'm absolutely sure, more than I've ever been sure in my life drinking a beer, that this beer has a little bit of a salt addition going on. Definitely. They probably not wanted to put it on the can. Stone and Wood, I think they're quite a large company now in Australia, so they probably don't want to alarm people maybe by saying that there's salt in the beer. They've mentioned kind of the nice things, if you like, the Chardonnay juice and the champagne yeast. You know, they've mentioned, and so you're thinking, oh, blimey. So they've chosen their kind of what they wanted to say rather than there's salt in the beer. But it's very nice. It's very drinkable. There is a sourness to it. It's not crazy sour. It's not making me dance around the kitchen sour, you know, doing a jig. It's nice. It's just nice. Carbonation pushes the beer on the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. For champagne yeast, I'm going to be honest, for champagne yeast, I probably would expect a little bit more carbonation. If you think of champagne in the glass, it's really kind of, you know, it's quite aggressive in the glass. You would expect it to do the same thing in a beer. I have had other beers with champagne yeast and they have been quite ferocious, but I suppose on the other hand, if you're Stone and Wood from Australia, you're putting that in a can with champagne yeast, you're more or less creating, if you get it wrong and put too much of the yeast in, or the yeast second ferments in the can, you're creating a bomb. So I suppose they've had to be a little bit careful with the amounts of or they've had to kind of control the yeast, I imagine, with this particular brew. But I like it. Brut Rosé Counterculture by Stone and Wood. Lovely bubbly, 6% ABV. Yeah, it's just raspberry. It's just got this kind of like just lovely raspberry, kind of light, fruity. There's a little bit of grain in there, a little bit of kind of malts. Light malt, kind of cracker bread flavours going on. Yes, a good beer, a good beer. I like it enough to give it a 7. 7 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!